Okay, guys, I just demoed the Muse and I showed you how Mega could create really quality designs for your merch products automatically by itself on its own. So you have to do nothing. You can schedule artwork and then go to sleep and come back the next day, and the designs will be ready for you to make into products. If you'll recall, I did come across something like this, and I've gone ahead and fiddled with it and made it just how I wanted. So I ended up actually riffing on what the Muse created. So I made something even better. Now, what I want to introduce to you today is a new function that I just added to Mega, which is really good. It will improve the entire process by a lot. I have added a section here after you process your artwork. So I created my artwork, I removed the background and processed it. And now we're into step 4, creating your mockups. But before you go into create your mockup, there is a design size and placement function. This is really key because previously, every time you created for a t-shirt, the system would automatically apply the artwork to the entire print area of the canvas. So that was probably acceptable for the vast majority of designs, but certainly in some situations, that just doesn't cut it, or you just wish to do something different or unique. So I built this design size and placement function phase right inside of Mega. So you can see right here, my Taiwan Go For It Formosa Bear design is finished, and you can see that by default, it is occupying the entire print canvas of the t-shirt. But maybe for some reason, I want it to be laid out differently. Well, first of all, if we want it to just be right over the heart, we can choose crest, and that will transfer it to right roughly over the heart. If you don't like that, you can actually move it a little bit. You can actually move it maybe over here to 85 or so. Actually, maybe 80 is enough. Should be right next to the collar there. And then it's too close to the top. So we have this top gap. I might bump that up to 10 or even 15. Could go even lower, maybe 12, 13, something like that. And then the size, there you go. I actually like this size at 30. Could obviously make it bigger. That's a little bit too big. Yeah, I think 30 is nice. You could even go smaller. But in this case, I want it to be large, just not the biggest. So we can go and click on center chest. And this does that, but it's still too small for me. So I'm going to bump it up from 45 to maybe even 80. I still want it large. I just don't want it the largest. So something like that. And then, yeah, the top gap, see, it's a little bit, there's been a gap. When you click on center chest, there's a gap made of 8, and that's really quite nice, actually. You could even actually lower it a little bit down to 6 or 5. And then in this case, the horizontal doesn't need to be touched, so right in the middle. So I really like this. It's not so big, and I think a lot of other people will also like this. So that's it. I think that this is a game changer. It really opens up the possibilities, and it allows every person to find their own touch or make their own touch and find their own taste. So with that, the next step is choosing our mockup colors. And so this one is going to be probably not very good looking on black, but it will be good on gray. And then I really like natural, and I also like vintage white. So I'm going to just choose those 4 colors, and then I'm going to generate the mockup like that. So I hope you like that, guys. I think that really improves the system, and there is a much greater potential for a broader scope of outcomes. So I think that's helpful. So there she is. Looks really nice. I'm going to choose this vintage white one. So I'm going to uncheck. Oh, I'm going to choose the vintage white one just like that. And then the system automatically goes into drafting the product details, which is the title, the meta, the tags, and the descriptions. Now, I have also implemented another new minor function that I also think is really useful. And that is a way to change, alter, or edit the product details themselves. So you can see, as per normal, the AI creates all of the text, all of the copy for the product. You can see the long description is here in HTML. So maybe sometimes you might find yourself in a situation where you want to add a specialty long tail keyword, or you want to add some kind of shout out to a specific ICP or customer profile. That is totally possible now. And all you have to do is use this reroll, reroll the copy function. So in here, I might just say, I want to, so in here, I might just say something like, I want to add something about this being akin to the 40s sort of war propaganda, art and illustration, where there was an Uncle Sam and he was pointing at the viewer and he said, I want you. And this is supposed to instill nostalgia, pride, and patriotism, and let the Taiwanese diaspora know that they need to show their best on the world stage for Taiwan, help protect and love it. So I could have said anything. I could have said add a tag. I could have said change the title. I could have done anything I wanted. But all I do once I add my edit is just click on reroll copy. And that's it. It will be integrated again by the AI into your product details. And so that will take care of anything that you want to add, but is a second thought or an afterthought. So you have complete control over what goes into your listing on your website. I think that's also a big change. It seems like a small function, but it's actually quite a useful improvement. Okay, so that's all you do. And once you're done with that, you just click create, you just create product draft. You just hit create product draft and there it goes. It will come into the processing queue here and you'll be able to start designing your next product. So I hope you like that. The design size and placement function, as well as the reroll function for your product descriptions, I think are big additions and make this whole process so much nicer. I hope you feel that way too. I appreciate you for joining me and thank you very much. And I'll see you next time. Cheers, guys.